Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Podsmoker's Bible. My name is Zion. I'm the author of the Podsmoker's Bible, which contains the prophetic book of Zion, where I get my name and authority. It comes from the Ketuvim, or Old Testament, of the Christian Bible. I use the King James Version of the Bible to write the book of Zion because King James is a distant relative of mine. So it is the official family Bible. And besides, I was raised a Christian. Now, I finished the publication of the entire Potsmoker's Bible. So, if you want to video view the book, go to YouTube and Pot Smoker's Bible, all lowercase, and go into the feed. I'm there, you just have to find me. And until people start watching it, it's gonna be deep in the feed. So, today, I'm doing the second episode post publication, and today I'm going to be talking about the gray. The gray are our ancient gods, or they are the clones of our ancient gods. So, I'm going to tell you human history as told by Gray. You see, the Gray are a very, very ancient race. They were already spacefaring before our planet was even created. By then, their ancient planet had already been annihilated through natural causes, the way all planets work. Their sun lived out its lifespan and became supernova, annihilating their planet, just like someday our beautiful Sol will do the exact same thing to the Earth. But just as the Gray continued as a sentient being, post-apocalyptic, we also will survive our planet's annihilation, and we will too do exactly what they did. We will seek out a new home to call our very own. And just as they did, we will ensure that there are no sentient beings on that planet capable of evolving unless we're willing to become part of it, which is exactly what the Grey did. Now, when the Greys found the planet Earth, they weren't gray at all. In fact, they never were gray. They've always been blue. They are the ancient Hindu gods, the ancient Sumerian gods, the ancient gods of the Americas. They are the ancient gods pretty much everywhere on Earth. But there are also 11 other species that are associated with them. And they too have come to this planet off and on through our history. That's where all of the other depictions come from. You know the ones. The bipedal animal-headed gods from Egypt. Those are sentient life forms that have evolved from what we call lower life forms. And unbeknownst to the people on Earth, each of those 11 species has children on this Earth, or at least they did. We have all but annihilated some of them, and they're not happy about it. But today's episode is not about them. It's about the Grey. Okay? So, when the Grey came to Earth, it was sometime, well, it was way before the flood. It was somewhere around the Pleistocene, when there were no true humanoids on this planet. When they came here, the planet had pretty much been wiped clean by an asteroid. Now, this is an event that happens periodically in all planetary systems, and especially in this one. We have a rogue planet, or so the cuneiform tablets tell us. And the Grey tell me, yes, we do have a rogue planet, Nibiru, or whatever we want to call it. and it is on its approach, which is why they have returned. If you believe it, believe it. If you don't, don't. I don't care. I'm just telling you what I've been told. Okay? So anyway, Nibiru had come by and wiped out the dinosaurs. So there was this beautiful planet that had the similar components to their own ancient atmosphere. It wasn't the same because we have more oxygen than they do, and they had more nitrogen than we did. But the elements were similar enough that they could take some of the lower life forms, the bipedal one, they, and through the genetic manipulation, create us. So yes, we were created in the image of our gods. We were created from the Neanderthal. They are our ancient human genetic line. But we're not completely of this earth. We are hybrids, just like the gray that we know today are hybrids of us. But what happened then was, when they came to this planet, they could not breathe our atmosphere because they breathed nitrogen, whereas we breathe oxygen. But there was enough nitrogen in the atmosphere that they could manipulate their genetic code through our genetic code and make a hybrid species that would contain their DNA. And eventually, they would become part of our planet. And that was the original plan. That they would, over the long term, integrate their DNA into ours to such an extent that eventually they would be completely human. We were not created in their image to be a unique species. We were a stepping stone to their creation of themselves as human. But something went wrong. As the Bible and other mythologies tell us, the the hybrids that were created were beautiful. So beautiful that the very human aliens crossed the line and had sex with us. That was not a good idea. Now, if you look on the face of the earth, there are two places that show signs of ancient nuclear explosions. Those are the two places. One is in the Badlands in Saudi Arabia in the Middle East. The other one is in India. These two places is where the plague originated. The plague that almost completely wiped out the great, almost ended their entire species. It was a sexually transmitted disease. And yes, it was happening here on Earth, but it was isolated in the two places. They nuked those two places, wiped out the plague on Earth. We never had to deal with it. Thank God. They, however, were not so lucky. By the time they realized that there was a plague, it had gone to their current homeworld, and it devastated their population. Kind of like what coronavirus is doing to us right now. But it was a sexually transmitted disease. So, in order to save their species, they took the most drastic step of all. They stopped having sex and started to clone themselves. The little gray covered blue aliens that we see are clones of the original ancient alien. Krishna is there. Bala is there. All of them are there. But with each new body, they take a new name. Just as we do when we reincarnate. Names are attached to bodies, people. They're not attached to souls. So, Krishna is no longer Krishna. He remembers being Krishna. But that's been so long ago that he no longer identifies with that name. So, if you call on Krishna, you're not going to get an answer because Krishna doesn't go by that name anymore. In fact, when the plague struck and they realized that the only way that they could safeguard their own species and ours would be to have us isolated so that our part of their genetic code would be safe. So, they went to what we would equate to the Galactic Federation headquarters, and they petitioned the 12 species to isolate the human planet, to protect the gray DNA, to ensure the survival of their species and ours. So, in order to safeguard life of the gray and of the humans, we were isolated. They totally left us alone. We were off limits to every species in the known galactic neighborhood. And by galactic, I mean intergalactic, because these species are from more than one galaxy. But the gray have now found a homeworld. They were looking for one when they came to Earth, and they've been looking for one ever since. But they refuse to inhabit a planet that has sentient species on it. And they learned from Earth not to bother the pre-existing ones that could someday become sentient, like they did with us. So, if you're wondering where that Star Trek thing about non-interference comes from, it comes from their experience with us. Okay? Anyway, so, the Grey isolated us intergalactically. We were off limits. And they knew that they had to set watchers over us who would not interfere, but who would guide us on the proper path. And that proper path is what we'll discuss next time. Okay? So, our isolation is coming to an end. The Grey have returned. Their genetic need and the approach of Nibiru makes it imperative that they return. Because they don't want us annihilated any more than they want themselves annihilated. So, they have sent me to tell this to you so that you will understand what's happening, what's real, and what's coming. So, until next time, may the Grey watch over you, guide you, protect you, and keep you from all harm. May they teach you right from wrong. May you be worthy of them. May your thoughts, words, and deeds reflect truth, good, and light. The Unicorn Way. Let your emotions be positive. Feel the joy. Find your joy. Express your joy. Be the joy. Stay happy and high. If you do drugs. Love you. Later. Never say goodbye.